Welcome again to the Budgeting Immigrant Show. I am your host, Inosampao. On today's episode, we'll be talking about emergency funds. Emergency funds are important. They are an important aspect of your budget. The last time we budgeted together, we talked about how it was important for you to start an emergency fund before you started an investment fund. Today, I'm going to explain why emergency funds are that important, that you need to have them done before you start building wealth. First of all, what is an emergency fund? Emergency funds are 3 to 6 months important expenses that you budget for and put in a savings account. Yes, savings account. You do not want to invest your emergency fund. Otherwise, the day you need the money and the stock is going downwards, you would 100% regret it.
Empty. 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 Empty.
The purpose of having that safety net for unexpected expenses, roughly 3 to 6 months, is just so you are able to pay the bills for those scenarios that I mentioned, right? Well, the idea of 3 to 6 months is because some people make so much income, right? Or they are from a two-person household, or they have a job that they are less likely to get laid out of, which is very hard to come by in the US. Every job lays people off. But say one person in the house has a job that hardly lays off, then 3 months is fine. But if both of you are in jobs that you are likely to get laid off, or you have important health issues that you always should be aware of, then having a 6-month emergency fund is very important. Now, how do you determine the right amount you need in your emergency fund? That is the $1,000,000 question, because your important expenses are up to you. I would say what should go into an emergency fund? Your monthly living expenses, right? The most important aspect of it, your needs. So say you lost your job today. God forbid, it shouldn't happen to anybody. But you lost your job today and you have to keep paying your bills. What are the most important bills you need to keep paying? Your rent, definitely, or your mortgage. If you own a house, kudos to you. Your utilities, you definitely need to pay for them. You need electricity, otherwise you freeze to death. You need a heater or heating bill. You need AC if it's in the summer. You need internet to keep applying for new jobs. So all these are important parts of it. Do you need cable? I don't think so. So it's up to you. If you have kids, maybe you do to keep them quiet. But if you don't, then I don't think cable is essential enough in your emergency budget. So there are some things that you have to be aware of. Your loans, like if you have a car loan, you need to keep paying the car loan so that your credit score don't get hit. So you need to have that in your emergency fund. Your insurance deductibles, because you need to keep paying for your insurance as you're moving forward. So that needs to be in your emergency fund. Your health deductibles, all those things need to be in your emergency fund. Now, where would you keep your emergency fund if you had one? I did mention keep it in a savings account. Do not invest your emergency funds. If you have 6 months and you want to push it and you want to invest 3 months and keep 3 months on you, well, that's up to you. But I would advise that try to have the 6 months in a high yield savings account. There are lots of them out there, and one of these days I'm going to record an episode on how to identify the best high yield savings accounts and which ones the rates and which ones are the best places to keep your money. Now, if you have debts and you have to save for an emergency fund, which one should you concentrate on? I know a lot of people have asked this. Pay your debts first, but always have some amount of emergency funds saved. Dave Ramsey says start with $1,000. I know he says that because it's easier for you to start with $1,000 than starting with $10,000. So yes, start with $1,000. Have your medical deductibles saved up, and then take it from there. The important part about starting small is that when you're saving for a long-term benefit, it seems arduous, and it seems like you keep saving and you're never able to get there.
I'm tired, boss.
For example, my emergency fund consists of probably all my expenses, because I feel like they are all important to me and I wanted to save for those. And so I saved 6 months of all my expenses put together. But it took a while for me to get that amount of money saved. And when I was doing it, I kept getting frustrated because I had a goal and I was never meeting my goal. So it's important to start small, and as you identify other aspects of your life that you feel are important to you, you keep scaling. That would help you while saving. Also, can you have an investment fund or a 401k as you're saving for an emergency fund? Definitely. If your company is offering a match, I would advise that you at least save to meet the match so you do not throw money away.
All right, go ahead. Look at this, guys. That's what you call making it rain. $2,000 a stay.
And you keep that match as you save for your emergency fund. So at the beginning, you might have to split it into contributing to your 401k to meet the match and saving it into your emergency fund. But as you meet your emergency goal, if you decide to start scaling, then it's up to you as to how you want to get there. This is my advice, and this is what I did. I know out there people say, don't save for retirement, start saving for emergency first. I believe in, as humans, we can do multiple different things. We are powerful that way.
I am telling you right now, that mother back there is not real.
So you can do both. You just have to cut your expenses for you to be able to afford to do both. It's important that as you're saving for an emergency fund, you identify exactly what is an emergency to you.
God, I almost died. No. I almost died. That was so scary. Thank you.
It's okay. It's all right.
Emergency funds are specifically meant for emergencies. Your AC is spoiled. You lost your job. Your car, you got into an accident and you do not have any money than to pay for your deductible. All these are emergencies. The key factor though is, as you're spending out of your emergency fund, you are constantly replenishing it. So for me, I always try, if I have enough money on me, to not use my emergency fund, but to actually use the money I have on me. But if you do not have money on you and you need to pay for that bill, then use your emergency fund. But always remember that immediately you take money out of it, your priority should be to replace that money